But first, I am joined by Amy French, the Senior Program Manager with the local Alzheimer's Association. Amy, great to see you again.
And you, Latrice.
Let's start, Amy, by talking about one of the things when it comes to Alzheimer's. We're always looking at, treatment, research. How do we stop this? Right now, there is no cure. So it's basically about slowing down the progression.
It is about slowing down the progression, but we actually have a wonderful breakthrough that has occurred this year. In fact, just a few months ago, a new medication called Leqembi was approved by the FDA and is pending approval by CMS so that it can be paid for by insurances. There are some restrictions to it, of course, as there are with any new medication. It has its complications, or its drawbacks, I should say, but it is so exciting because for the first time ever, we now have the ability to stop the progression of the beta amyloid plaques that form in the brain because of Alzheimer's disease. And that means that for people in the early stages of the disease, they will be able to access this medication very shortly, and it can make a tremendous difference in their quality of life and the longevity that they have with a good quality of life.
And let's talk about that, because I want to make it clear we are talking about here those in the early stages of Alzheimer's when we start talking about this particular breakthrough treatment and others, because in order for it to really have an impact, then it has to, you need to catch it early.
Yeah, and this is true, Latrice, with pretty much all chronic progressive illnesses. Early detection, early diagnosis, early intervention are the key to managing the disease and giving those who are affected, again, that longer quality of life.
And that's so important. And let's talk about that, because so many times, and Amy, this is, I think, so important, though we can't say it enough, you think about the normal signs that come with aging, and how do you, or symptoms and things that come with aging as opposed to Alzheimer's, to say that, okay, this isn't just part of the normal process of aging. So what are just some of those really key red flags to remind families to look out for?
When should you be worried? When should I be worried? That's the number one question that I get. We all walk into the kitchen and forget why we walked in. We have busy lives. Normally we go back and sit down on the couch, and then we remember and we hop up and we go do whatever we were supposed to do. That's normal. We all forget names when we meet someone in the grocery store. All of those things are normal. What you're really looking for is a change that's significant enough to interfere with normal day-to-day life, like truly getting lost on your way home from a familiar place, that kind of thing. Starting to make really challenging challenging mistakes in regard to something that you were once good at, like maybe you were really good at balancing your checkbook and you're starting to make financial mistakes, or you're really good at cooking and you start to really make big mistakes in recipes and things like that.
And those are some of the things you see. I remember one of my a relative, an uncle, and when I think I've told you this before, that he started just constantly getting lost coming home, and so they would go get him, and then finally it was like, okay, we need to take him to the doctor to make sure it's kind of what you thought this is what was happening, but now we know this is what was happening.
Well, and there's such a stigma attached. No one wants to feel like they've lost that control and that ability to manage their own lives. No one wants that. And we don't want that for our loved ones either. So we cover for them, and we pick up the slack for as long as we possibly can. And that's the kind and the compassionate thing to do, but we also have to watch out for those warning signs and, again, intervene early, have an early diagnosis, early detection. Just because a person has significant memory problems, it doesn't mean they have Alzheimer's. There could be other causes as well. So you would want to be sure that there's not something else going on, like a new medication that might be causing problems, or another health condition that might be causing problems.
So it really is important, like you said, to go to find out whatever it is that's going on. And we want to talk about now, like, how we can continue to make sure we are doing this research to find these breakthrough treatments. We do things that happens through things like the walk and fundraiser. So tell us about your upcoming walks you have coming up.
So we have our our premier fundraiser and awareness raiser are our walks to end Alzheimer's. And this year in Chattanooga, our walk takes place October 21st at Coolidge Park. It's our first time at Coolidge Park, and we are so excited to have such a place of visibility, that people come and have so many positive experiences. We say that our walk to end Alzheimer's is like the world's largest support group. People come because they've been affected by this disease. And while raising money is the number one reason that we have the walk, the number one reason is also raising that awareness and giving people the opportunity to come together and celebrate the lives of those who are affected and work together to make a difference in finding a cure and an effective treatment.
And that's so important. And we're going to put up your contact information because we want to remind people you're not in this alone. The Alzheimer's Association has so many resources, including a 24/7 hotline where they can help.
Yes,
people
our helpline
at the
is
helpline there.
800-272-3900 and 24/7. It's manned by and womaned by individuals who are well qualified to answer questions, but also to share the experience with you through their heart and through their compassion.
Okay, well, the information is there. Go to one of those websites and call the helpline if you need help. Thank you so much, Amy French.
Thank you, Latrice.